Hello guys and welcome back to another photography video. So on this channel I mostly focus on street photography and the occasional bit of landscape, but a couple of months back I decided I wanted to try my hand at some motorsport photography. Now this has been the first time since the Isle of Man TT a couple of years ago that I'd done any, and when I did shoot the Isle of Man TT I wasn't even using a telephoto lens. My photos weren't amazing. So this time I headed to the Harewood Hill Racetrack in Yorkshire. Now this is a hill climb style racetrack where the cars participate in a time trial. And this is one I used to go to quite a bit when I was younger, and I've been meaning to go back to for quite a few years now, so I felt this was the perfect opportunity to do it and try some motorsport photography while I was at it. My lens of choice for this was the Fujifilm XF70-300, and I decided to only use this one lens for all of the video and photos that I took there. So everything you see was taken using this lens. And as I don't really do full reviews of gear on this channel, I felt the best thing to do was make this more of a showcase of the lens and what it can do for motorsport photography. With that being said, let's get into it. The start line at Harewood Hill allows you to get pretty close to the cars, and I got some great close-ups of drivers here as they were waiting to start their lap, when my focal length was mostly between 200 to 300mm. I made a few stops here throughout the day, but my favourite shot was of a Caterham where the driver is looking right at me through his rearview mirror. I also got quite a few shots as drivers were just starting their laps along the fairly short straight that the track starts with. After the start, the track leads into Clark's Corner and then a long straight. This was one of the parts of the track I spent less time at, but as this is a spot with some marshals, I did get a couple of nice shots of them spectating. The long straight after Clark's is decent, and any spots for spectating, you are pretty close to the track, and I was at 70mm for most of my shots here. Unfortunately, there was a pretty bad crash here during practice, and the car involved was turned over and pretty badly damaged. Thankfully the driver was okay, but this did postpone any laps for half an hour. So the chicane at the bottom of the track, named S's, is an excellent spot if you want to hear some screeching tyres and get some shots with tyres leaving the ground. Cars usually go through here at some speed, and this is a section where you're likely to see at least one or two cars veer off the track at some point in the day. The viewing points for spectators are pretty close to the track here, with most of my shots being between 70 and 150mm. After practice laps had finished and the drivers took a break, I took a quick walk around the paddock to get up close with the cars. As I decided to shoot using only the 70-300, this made it a little difficult to get wider shots showing the full length of cars, so I decided to focus on the details, picking out elements that stood out to me. Farmhouse Corner is named as such because of the farmhouse that sits on the track right before it. This is a great spot for a frame shot as the cars pass between the two farmhouse buildings, and a very easy spot to freeze the action as it's a decent length straight with a clear view of the cars racing towards you. The turn following it was one of the best spots I found for panning shots, most of which I captured there were at 70mm and 1/80th of a second. Orchard is the track's second chicane, where the viewing point gives you a nice full view of cars passing through. Definitely less exciting than S's, but still a nice spot to shoot from. You also get a good view of the straight at the bottom of the track from here, where I did attempt a few long distance panning shots. From the final straight through to the final turn, there are a few good spots for shooting, and these are usually the busiest areas for spectators. A point on the final turn served as a nice spot for panning shots, however I was left with very little time to get focused on cars as they entered my frame. I was at 70mm for all the panning shots I took here, but something wider definitely would have been more appropriate, as I was sometimes unable to fit the whole car in frame due to how close they were. The opposite side of the final turn is a little better for panning shots, however you do need to take about a 5-minute walk around the back to reach it. This was a very entertaining spot to watch and shoot from, as cars are usually going full throttle and you get a fair bit of tyre screeching before they cross the finish line. So thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a like, please subscribe, and go and check out some of my other work. Also go and give me a follow over on Instagram where I post the shots from these videos. I just want to close by saying I did really enjoy giving motorsport photography a try, and because of that I have actually planned another trip to Donington Park at the end of August. I may potentially be using a different lens for that, which then I can then compare the shots I got with the 70-300 to the lens that I use on that day. So keep an eye out for that video, and I'll see you next time.